Well, I finally got this 7.5 horse Johnson going. What a project. Everything was froze up. The throttle was froze up. The choke was froze up. The steering was froze up. Up and down was the worst. And, oh well. I don't have to give it a carb kit. But I had to get new ends for the fuel line because these ones were the wrong ones. Okay, I'm going to take the leg off and have a look at the impeller because it wasn't, no water was coming out of the pisser hole. So we'll have a look at that. Look at that shaft there, it's all rusty. But that's okay, I'll fix that up. Okay, yeah, it's pretty yucky looking. But that's okay, I'll clean that up and have a look. Yeah, doesn't look too bad, considering. Who knows how long it's been sitting since it ran. You know, when you get a free engine, you can expect to do some work to it. So I'll get some emery cloth and I'll polish these rods up, the drive shaft and the other tube there. Now, have a look, see how ugly the impeller is. Yeah. Okay, it's coming off pretty easy. Look at that. Doesn't look too bad. Huh. Imagine that. Now, when you put the impeller in, you're supposed to twist it clockwise. It looks like whoever put this impeller in put it in counterclockwise. Maybe that's all that's wrong with it. Or maybe it's the tube got gunk in it, because sometimes these tubes get full of gunk. Well, they're not brittle and nothing's broken off. Usually you find a fin broken off or it's brittle. But I'm thinking somebody changed this water pump not too long ago. Because the reason being, I think that is because this impeller looks in pretty good shape. Plus these bolts, they all had grease on them, so yeah. I think maybe just that tube was plugged up. There, they're all bent clockwise. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, yeah, I don't think I have to buy a new impeller or water pump parts at all. Awesome. Totally plugged up. That's all it is. You know, a person always thinks the worst first, right? Yeah. Okay. No problem. That should do it. air coming out down here, so it's blowing straight through. Good. Okay, you see that little flapper thing? That's just so the starter won't work when you got it, the throttle wide open. I'm gonna take the thing off and throw it in the garbage. These two-stroke engines, I like to start them in the wide open position. Okay, runs like a charm. Lots of smoke, but look at that pisser tube. It's working perfect now. Yeah. Water's coming through good. I mixed the 50-to-1, but I added a little bit of extra motor oil in there. Just because I don't know how long this engine has been sitting, and I want it to get lubricated up real good inside. So it's gonna smoke for that first tank of gas. These old outboard motors, they had an adjuster for adjusting the needle valve for high speed and low speed, you see. This one doesn't fit in there so good. I'm gonna have a look to see what's going on. But it runs, even though it's smoking pretty good. And I'm testing the gear shifter. See if it's all going to work, even though I don't have the propeller on. I never put the propeller on when I got it in the bucket because the water just flies all over the place. Seems to work okay. Okay, now I'll have a look inside here. I'm gonna take that noise cover off. Yeah. And have a look in here. Sure enough, look at that thing. It's way too big for the splines on the needle valve. I don't know. And it's not like you can put a snap ring on there or something. I don't know what's supposed to hold it. Maybe there was some kind of an adapter in there that's missing. Well, I'll try to make up an adapter. I'm trying to find the exact spot where this needle valve should be at. So I'm trying to get it to run real slow and adjust that needle to where it should be when it's just barely idling, but it's hard to find that spot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make some kind of an adapter in there to hold it. Well, first of all, I tried to shim up the hole with some plastic stuff, but I think what I'm gonna do is use this silicone. Now silicone it all up so that should grip into the splines on the needle valve there. And then I'll fill the hole of that adjuster rod or whatever you want to call it. And then let the silicone harden. And that should do it. You know, it'll grip into things and it's still flexible a little bit, so hopefully that'll do it. We'll see. I don't know. These old carburetors were something to be desired. The new carburetors, you don't have to fool with them at all. Well, we'll just let that harden. I'll change oil in the leg now. So, drain all the old oil out. It doesn't look too bad, you know. You take the bottom plug out first, then you take the top plug out, and that lets air in and drains all the oil out. Now, this oil looks pretty good, but it kind of looks like it might have some water in with it. So we'll get it out of there. And then here, you put this oil in the bottom and you give it a squeeze, and when it comes out the top hole, then you put the screws back in. That seems to work quite well. Yeah. So now I know. Now I know it's got a good impeller and it's got fresh oil in the leg, and it runs. And I got everything loosened up. Put lots of penetrating oil everywhere. And well, it's got a few grease fittings. I don't have a grease gun. I got a tube of grease, but no grease gun. I left it behind when I moved. So, okay, it's working. But smoking right now. So now there's enough oil to change oil in the little Honda 4-stroke. So this oil is kind of black looking. Yeah. Maybe I should have put something in there to rinse it, but I didn't. I just let it drain pretty good, then put the new oil in. This one here, I had to give it a carb kit because it wouldn't run slow unless you had the choke going. So I had to take the carburetor. What a job that was. Holy crap, they make them different nowadays. You can get right at the carburetor, but this thing here, I had to take the whole thing apart to get at the carburetor. Anyway, I gave it a carb kit. Now it runs pretty good. The next thing I have to do is get these here transom clamps. The handles are broken on that. That one's broken, and the other one's missing altogether. And that thing there is broke. That holds the engine up when you lift the leg up. The clamp to hold it down works good, so that's the main thing. So if I had some Faller's wedges, that's what I'd make the new handles of. And I found a nice little spot for them in the shed. I don't have much room in my little wee shop. Now I can concentrate on the boat. I got some work to do with this $100 boat I bought.